Today is the 5th of January, and Happy New Year to all listening in. Market opened with a gap and raised upward largely throughout the day. Eventually closed at its high, up 50 points at 3292 with increased volume. Now, by and large, market is actually range bound, but today's range expansion is a positive development. I'd like to see it eventually break the 3,300s resistance and test this intraday high, which is at 3313. Now, support remain at this gap level here, which is at 3211 tested 2 days ago. Eventually, these consolidations or these ranging markets will have to be resolved through a breakout, and if you break on the upsides, there is a change in perception of the fundamentals, and we are likely to see very strong upward move among the blue chips. Let's turn our attention to the US market. This is S&P 500 on the daily charts. Now, after these retracements from the upper channel lines, market actually found its supports. Notice actually was swinging sideways with small body, so this is just a temporary support here. Now, by and large, actually on the longer terms, is still long-term negative. So we may see some slight upward move, but it's likely to be limited with the 40 weeks still downward pointing. It is quite evident for the Nasdaq, which is actually much weaker. Notice the retracement is much deeper and it's almost near the support level. Again, from the 40 weeks, I see crucial to actually watch this level. This low here, which is at 10,088, breaking this level will be negative. So by and large, it's still negative long-term bias. It's quite evident if you plot the multiple moving averages. The 200s and the 100s are still downward pointing. So markets may be choppy, but on longer terms, it's more likely to be biased downwards. This is Hang Seng. Notice over here we have this selling climax, and it raised upwards, and it was just holding at this level here. This is a temporary pause, and managed to actually break on the upside. So this is a generally positive development. Now you actually take a look, these are the major moving averages. It managed to clear the 200 days, which is still kind of flat, but look for the pullback from here. It may well actually turn up. So in this case here, we probably see the ends of the bear market for Hang Seng. This is the 10-year Treasury yield with the 40 weeks. Again, notice actually the retracements found a support and it bounced off. Now this bounce here may not be as impressive as what we have seen earlier, the previous rally, because this was actually fueled by the aggressive tightening policy. We may not see this as such, so the upward moves may be limited. It may well even stuck in the trading range. So again, if that happens, likely to be choppy. This is your Brent crude. We see severe selling, and this white range bar here, two white range bar here, especially the last bar here on increased volume, is generally negative, and we are likely to see further downward move. It may well test the support here at about 75. The next significant support is at about $70. Let's turn our attention to the local markets. This is IFAS. After the strong run-ups, stock actually consolidate sideways, which is perfectly normal. And today we see this range expansion with increased volume. I'd like to see eventually follow through with a break on the upside. If you take a look at the weekly charts, the consolidation on daily charts is actually a swing setup on the weekly. In this case here, we have a small dipper with a bar one high here of 623. Again, in the process of trading sideways, you close out of daylight. This is generally a positive development. So basically, we want to actually see a formation of a base and eventually break on the upside. Debrief. Again, after the strong upward move, a pullback. There was a time of breakup, but kind of short-lived. It actually retraced, but managed to find some support over here and bounced off today and closed very well. Like to see eventually take out this high here. This is at 303. Now today break It's actually a big dipper break. So I'd like to see a follow through to clear this high here, 303. For Empire, after the run up, stock is actually consolidating. So you probably need some time. Look for a break above 675. Again, if you take a look at the weekly, you can see this is actually a consolidation setup. China Aviation Oil. Take a look at the bigger pictures. So you notice this is a long-term reversal. Here we have very nice run-ups, and if you notice, series of gap followed by a pullback on low volume, which is nice. And it actually broke out yesterday with a wide range bar. Today followed through, closed at its high. Look for pullback here. Look for a new setup. Baswell. Now Baswell was suspended for more than 3 years. And finally actually leave its suspension on the 14th, traded with an extension bar on high volume. And further period of sideways move. This is a process of normalization. And over here we see very nice build up. Notice the small range bar. And here we have a break on the upside. So this is a consolidation breakup. Today we have follow through with slightly lower volume. Again, look for pullback and look for new setups to go long. Just be mindful we had a high volume resistance at about 219. Sembcorp is slow and steady. Alright, after this move itself, it actually pulled back. You prefer if the volume has been lower, but it's not that low, it's average. Whatever the case, this is a contraction setup. Look for a break above high of 345. Again, we just have to take note that this overhead resistance here.